Hey guys, Chris Honeycutt here with some more Thursday Thoughts. Today I'm talking about adding value. This is the principle that John Maxwell talks about a lot. And myself as a pastor and a John Maxwell coach is one that I live by. I want to add value to others. I want them to feel valued, for them to feel worthy of my time, for them to feel like they have benefited from a relationship with me. And this is where that we all could benefit from being a little bit more considerate, a little bit more compassionate, being a little bit more humble. And this is where we go to Philippians 2, where the Apostle Paul talks about imitating Christ's humility. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of others. This deals exactly with what I'm talking about today. You know, my mentor, John Maxwell, talks about adding value. And so as a John Maxwell coach, I try to add value to others. I try and help them be better than they were before. I try and help them have a great day. I try and help them meet goals. All those things I try and do as a John Maxwell coach and also as a pastor of a church. John Maxwell once said this: to add value to others, one must first value others. Now, what does value mean? That means you consider them of worth. You consider them worthy of your time, worthy of anything that you're investing yourself into with them. And so that goes back to Philippians 2. This is where a lot of times we live selfishly. We think of ourselves before others. We think of our own needs before others. But that's not how Jesus rolled. Jesus gave us the greatest example of humility and thinking of others before yourself. That's what he did on the cross for our sins through his love, his grace and mercy. His sacrifice made it possible for us to live freely with God in his favor. So when we talk about adding value to others, that means that we have to consider their needs. What are the things that they are struggling with that we can help with? You know what? I have the perfect example of this with my dog Snoopy. So we went to our local pet store and we found this precious little Chihuahua. He was sold to us as a full-blooded Chihuahua, but he's actually more of a half Chihuahua, half Jack Russell mix. It makes for a very cute dog. And so my wife picked him out, and we have the pictures of when she's holding him. So we presented this dog to Nelson after school when we picked him up, and he fell in love with it instantly. And he named him Snoopy, Snoopy Brown Honeycutt. That's his full name. And so ever since then, we've made it a habit in Snoopy's life to go along with us to go pick up his brother, Nelson, from school. And so every day I might be in my home office if I'm not here at our church building, if I'm not out having meetings. Snoopy will run into my office around 2:30 p.m. to remind me it's time to go pick up Nelson. And so he gets all excited. He's jumping up and down, running in circles. And then we go out the door. He doesn't take off down the street. He goes right to the passenger door like a human being until I have to, like a Southern gentleman, open the door for him, and he hops in. And off we go to pick up brother. And when he sees Nelson walk up to the car, he's just going crazy. His tail is wagging, he's barking, and he's just so happy to see his brother. And you know what? It made me think when I was in the car line the other day about this, that you know what? There's some days where I'm too busy to go back by the house and pick up Snoopy so we can then go on to the school and pick up Nelson. Sometimes I just go straight to the school. But this past week, I had a moment where I deliberately went back to the house. I made time to go back to the house because I had this thought that it might save me 10 minutes not to go back by the house. But the way that Snoopy gets so excited about that one car ride in the afternoon, that is the highlight of his day. And so it made me think about this. that if we take a little bit extra time, if we make a little bit extra effort in helping make someone's day, if we add value, that is a difference maker. Now Snoopy, again, he's a spoiled dog. I'm first to admit that. My wife especially spoils him rotten. But it's where I think about that in the context of my human relationships. Am I going out of my way to make someone's day? Am I adding value to others? Or am I living selfishly? So in my personal inventory every single day, I think about all the meetings I have, of all the people I talk to, and I try and do a better job of adding value. I try and ask questions. I try and see how they're doing. I try and ask, how can I help? You know, there's a lot of stressful situations that people go through. A lot of people have a lot of problems. Me being a pastor, that seems to be the case a lot. And it's where I can't complain about people having problems. Part of my responsibility, part of my role in life is to help people solve problems. And so part of me adding value is just to be a presence. And sometimes I have to be mindful of the fact that when I'm not present, when I'm not making time for them, that they may not feel valued. I want to make sure that in all my relationships, people are feeling valued. So I want to encourage you today, do that personal inventory. Think of all the people that you live with, work with, go to church with. Are you adding value? Are you asking the right questions? Are you living selflessly or living selfishly? That's it for Thursday Thoughts. Have a great day.